Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans all over the world, it is time for WrestlePalooza review right here on Aussieverse. Massive shout out to Comic Book Aru, our sponsors for this video. We also want to give a massive shout out to our 4-lifers. These are our paid members that do help Aussieverse each and every single month get to the goals that it wants to get to. If you want to support Aussieverse, be a paid member, get some perks, click the link. Otherwise, the best way to support us is simply by liking the video, subscribing, and all of that YouTube stuff. Now, this has been WrestlePalooza, the very first of its kind ever since ECW did it many years ago anyway. It is a ridiculous title for a pay-per-view, but they decided to go with that name. They've been promoting it left, right, and center because it's the first pay-per-view coming live from ESPN, which is a big network in America. I'm sure most people do know of it. Doesn't really mean much here in Australia because we still get it all on Netflix. So it really doesn't matter. We are also joined by Popper. How are you, brother? Very good to see you. Thank you for being the consistent guest in my life. I really hope you're doing well, and I really hope you enjoyed the show. Guess what, Popper? I didn't see the main event. Not yet. I had to go out. I had to do some things. So I said, you know what? We'll talk about everything else. Maybe you can give us your thoughts on the main event. But we are starting with the fact that WrestlePalooza was with a ESPN. Big deal for them. Like I said, doesn't really make a big lick of difference to us in Australia. But was that intro WrestleMania worthy? They seemed to really try to get it up there, didn't they? It was very exciting. I am not sure how I feel about the whole new then, now, forever together sort of thing, because I reckon the old one is really good. But this one, you know, it is what it is. It was long, but it was pretty cool. They did say that this is the final form of sports entertainment, which is always, I don't like definitive slogans because then later in life, you're going to need to change that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't see how this is the final form of sports entertainment, especially when, let's be real, how long is it really going to last on ESPN? For all we know, it could be forever. So maybe it is its final form. We started off with Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. This is a match that I was dying to see because I'd completely forgotten about the first time Brock Lesnar and John Cena went one-on-one during Extreme Rules all those years ago, and John Cena won. The only match that I could remember was somewhere around 2012, maybe 2015, where Brock Lesnar absolutely destroyed John Cena. And I was afraid that the exact same thing was going to happen again. And it pretty much nearly did. How did you feel about that, Popper? I expected Cena to win. I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect Cena to get beaten the crap out of as much as he did. But he did. And Paul Heyman as well. What's that about? Is Brock Lesnar going to be joining the Vision? I don't think so. Is Paul Heyman going to be leaving the Vision? I don't think so. Is Paul just going to be doing both? Probably. The Final Four stems from college basketball Final Four in March. Yeah, okay. Well, I was thinking about it as well today, and that is, if they're going to do WrestlePalooza every single year, you've then got WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Money in the Bank, Backlash, Elimination Chamber. What's left? You've got like only 3 or 4 months of just random pay-per-views or PLEs. But look, I enjoyed the Brock Lesnar match. I'm not going to lie, I did, but I don't know, man. I think I just expected a little more from Cena. Like, kids were crying. Kids were crying, Papa. That's messed up, man. Yeah, it was. It was unexpected. And were you expecting a bit of Ron Killings? I expected Truth to come out and sort of protect him. I think that was a little bit of a missed opportunity. But yeah, man, Brock Lesnar absolutely destroyed him, absolutely killed him. What do we do with Brock Lesnar now? What's next for Brock Lesnar? Is it going to be Gunther? Or who knows what? What happens with Cena now? You know what? And I give it to Cena for finally not talking as much as he normally does in a match lately. Especially on ESPN, because that was a bad look, man. That would have been a bad look. We then move over to the Usos versus the Bronze. Rumble or Mania. Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Like, once you take all of those pay-per-views out of the equation, you've only got like 3 left in a year. Next for Lesnar, Rumble. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want him in a Royal Rumble, though. I don't want him in a Royal Rumble. Okay, so we had the Bronze versus the Usos. Now, I don't know how you felt about this one, but for 4 really talented individuals and 4 people that deserve the spotlight and 4 people that have really just are doing and have done incredible things, I couldn't care about this match. There was just no need to care about it. There was no stakes. Whoever wins wasn't going to change anything. I just didn't see the point of having emotion about this match. So I just didn't care. I enjoyed the match. I fast forwarded a couple of little bits. And I think all of them did really well. I think Bron Breakker needs to slow down a couple of points because that guy just leaps. And when I see that chair with its leg out like that, and then Bron flips somebody over, I'm just waiting for somebody to get stabbed with a leg chair. The Vision tag team looks like the real tag team. They did a great job. Yeah, they did. They are really, really good. Apart from seeing 4 people go at it and try to do a good show, there was just no reason to care. I'm glad the Bronze won because they needed it more, I think. But I was expecting a little bit more character development from this other side of Jey Uso, which we did a little bit of. And how funny is LA Knight as the referee, impersonating Bron and doing the things that he does, man. He's pretty funny. He's pretty funny. I got to give him that. Very untapped potential with that funny guy. No Jacob Fatu. I don't know why that just popped in my head, but I found it surprising that no Jacob Fatu on the card. Did you want the Vision to win that? Did you want the Vision to win that one, or did you want the Usos to win that one? I'm going to assume you wanted the Vision to win that one. Tag teams need the same colors. Yeah, man. And not only that, but intro music, man. Intro music. Have good tag team intro music. If I was coming out with my wife, I would want a mixed music amalgamation. I think that would have been really cool. Next up, we have CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch on a side thing here that has nothing to do with WrestlePalooza. Did you see Darby Allin set Jon Moxley on fire? Well, he did. He just set him on fire. So go look up that after this video. You wanted the Vision because the Usos have been there. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So yeah, we had CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, and this match couldn't have been more overproduced and more overly written than what it was. It was like, don't get me wrong, man. I am very, very happy that AJ Lee came back. Are you? Are you happy AJ Lee came back? Okay. Well, so am I. But you could tell that ring rust, man. You could tell that ring rust, man. There was this whole segment of what was it? The sliced bread move that was so choreographed. It looked horrible. It looked horrible. I wipe my butt with AEW. Fair enough. But did you see that sliced bread moment where they're all like just stopped in the middle of the ring, and then like Punk grabs her leg and flips her over, and it was like, man, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. The Black Widow with AJ, man, it looks like, I don't know if she's shrunk or if other wrestlers have just gotten taller, but she looks to really, really struggle with doing that move. There doesn't seem to be enough AJ of her arms and legs to be able to pull those moves off. But she did, and for a moment, she looked completely stuck. Like the old days with the figure four. You needed a ref to come and get her out of that Black Widow position. And it looked really freaking awkward. And not only that, but I love AJ, but she really needs to learn how to throw a punch again. Because those punches were horrible. I don't care what fighting you're ever seeing. Nobody should ever be attacking like this, like an aeroplane swing. That's not what I'd expect from my professional wrestlers. I like the flip. She just didn't do it clean the first try. Yeah. What about the announcer's desk part? Man, I thought AJ was like seriously in trouble for a second. It looks like she just bounced off. You remember seeing that bit? That was, oh man, I was a little concerned there. I'm like, AJ comes back for one match and one match only. And what, pray tell, was CM Punk going to do to Becky Lynch? Was he gonna punch her in the face? Was he? What was he gonna? Was he gonna do a sharpshooter? Because I don't know. It looked a little dangerous there. Like he was gonna all of a sudden put his hands on a woman, but then all of a sudden, yeah, Becky sharpshooted a Punk. So yeah, man. It was good. Apparently, AJ Lee has signed a multi-year deal, so it'll be interesting to see how long she sticks around for. She's looking ripped as hell. And she's decided to go with the jorts again, just like Cena used to. And no ass cheeks are hanging out the bottom there, because I really doubt CM Punk wants anybody looking at his wife's butt, which is fair enough. I'd be the same way too. Full-time too, not part-time, yeah. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting the rest of the year, I think, to see what happens with the WWE. And then they had a really weird segment where The Undertaker came out. And I didn't know what was going on there until they announced Stephanie McMahon's going to be in the Hall of Fame, which would have been very, very choreographed, I'm assuming, even though they say it's not. But that was a little weird, seeing Undertaker do that, don't you think? I thought it was weird. I thought it was very, very weird. And then we had the last match, which I have not seen. So what was Rhodes and Drew like, Popper? Was it a good match? Was it a good ending? Who did you want to win? Because obviously I don't know who's won. I'm going to guess you want McIntyre to win. You want Cody to win? Okay. I want McIntyre to win. McIntyre deserves it. Cody can go, no, man. I think Cody sucks. Man. What's the next pay-per-view? September. October, November. Survivor Series. I don't know what the next pay-per-view is. I know there's another Saturday night's main event coming in November. Crown Jewel. Okay. Crown Jewel. How do you like WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia? Yeah. We'll have our final thoughts right after this.
Comic Bookaroo, proud sponsors of Aussieverse for all your comic book needs. Graphic novels, hardcovers, omnibuses, single issues. Don't forget to pre-order every Sunday at Comic Bookaroo.
You think it's good? Okay, fair enough. I'll be very interested to see the spectacle behind it because of the money they're going to pump into that. So that is one thing I'm excited for. Maybe the Saudi Arabians can convince them to have better music now. Wouldn't that be exciting? All right. Well, Popper, is there anything else you want to talk about, mate? I feel like this was more of apart from John Cena and Punk and AJ Lee, I just feel like the rest was, more of a spectacle than an actual good show. You know what I mean? It's playing out all the classics. That's what I think. Yeah, it was filler. Exactly. All right. Well, for anybody else that wants to go check out Popper, go check him out right here at Popper Wheelie on YouTube, where he has his own content. He does his own gaming. He also has his own wrestling show that is probably more popular than this one. So go check it out. Sweet Chin Music all the way. Also, don't forget, we have about 2.5 weeks left of voting for the CBC Awards, where some lucky YouTubers have made it to the finalists. Go vote now and help us get across that line. We are also doing Comics Curing Cancer coming up very, very soon. More on that. And this has been Aussieverse. And what are we, Popper? Oh, catch you next time. Thank you very much for joining.